Judas Priest. Glenn Tipton, the one of the original guitar gods, may I say so?
Yeah, thank you. It's appropriate in Greece, huh?
It is.
Metal god.
Yep, that's it.
No, that's great.
It's very nice having you with us, and we're very much looking forward to your first gig in Greece ever. And I'm obliged to ask this question. I mean, it took...
Why is it the first gig? Yep. Do you know, I don't know, and I did an interview just, and I don't know why we've never been to Greece before, because looking out there tonight, there's 20,000 kids that have been so loyal and waited for us to come, you know. And it's just a series of events that, you know, we couldn't get the venues, or we just couldn't fit it in the schedule. It sounds like excuses, but I don't know why we've never been to Greece, because I can see right away there's so many loyal fans out there, and you know, I'd just like to say thank you for waiting for us, and we'll make it worth the while tonight, and we'll be back shortly. You know, I mean, we sometimes it's very difficult to know how popular you are somewhere if you've never been there. So it's, you know,
firsthand,
yeah.
How about would you tell us a couple of things about how's the new guy working out?
Ripper's just a miracle. You know, he's a miracle that came when we needed him. His vocal talent's unbelievable. His range, his enthusiasm, you know, his new blood in the band. It just infects us all, and he's just got immense vocal capability, and both on stage and off stage in the studio. And everybody's totally accepted him. The reaction he gets every night is fantastic, you know. And I don't think there's anybody else could do the job he's doing. Well, I know there isn't.
Would you say that he sort of injected life into Judas Priest when he joined?
I think, you know, it's young blood, it's fresh. Sometimes at rehearsals you say, "Hey, look, guys, let's play this song," and we've forgotten it, but he can sing it, you know. So he keeps us on our toes, and undoubtedly.
Well, how about the new album? Would you care to tell us a couple of things about it? Because I think it's coming out tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Well, might be next week, but I haven't heard it. That's for sure.
It's our latest offering, but we're very enthusiastic about it. It's called Demolition. It's on SPV in Europe. I don't know whether that's the same in Greece. And I think it's one of the best albums we've ever done. It's full of light and shade. It's got character. It's got depth. It's very heavy metal in places, and it's very melodic in others. It's typical of Judas Priest, and the whole band does a great job on it, you know. I think we're all playing at our best on the album, so there's a lot to offer for everybody. There's some classic Priest moments, there's some very brutal tracks on there. There's a lot of sentiment on there, you know, lyrically, and all in all, you know, we're very proud of it.
Speaking of heavy metal, what do you think, in your personal opinion, is the state of metal these days?
Well, metal's always evolving, you know. I take my inspiration across the board at the moment. You know, currently you've got I mean, bands like Slipknot, you know, or I mean, my son turns me on to loads of bands. Like, I don't know, obviously, I was going to say Limp Bizkit. Everybody's heard of Limp Bizkit, but I mean, you've got Papa Roach, you've got bands like Union Underground. There's a whole glut of bands out there at the moment that are coming through, and there's some very good bands there, you know. I listen to them all. I listen to all the young bands. I think it's a foolish person who doesn't listen to, you know, the young bands and get inspiration from them, not copy them, but just see where they're coming from and get to, not to just understand them, but to like them as well. So I'm into all the up-and-coming bands, you know, and I say my son turns me on. He's only 15, so he turns me on to a lot of these bands, and I keep my ear to the ground and pay attention to them, because, you know, you can see if they're successful. There's a demand for what they're doing, and that's something you have to do to evolve yourself, and something that I do.
In closing, would you mind if I ask you one thing that has nothing to do with Judas Priest itself?
No,
well,
carry on.
You, what do you remember from working with the late Cozy Powell in Baptism of Fire?
Well, you know, Cozy was just an incredible drummer. Well, I'd say the best drummer, other than Scott, I have to say, because he's listening over there.
Might beat us up.
I've ever played with, and he was a great friend of mine, a really, really good friend. And as we know, he got killed in a car crash, which was just tragic. But we, you know, he played on my solo album, and we just got very close. I did know him before that, but during that time period, you know, we got to know each other very well, and we were good friends. And it's a tragic loss to metal, to rock and roll, to the music business, you know. Yeah. He was the last of an era, you know. There will be no more drummers like Cozy, because he was from a certain breed, you know. and he was a bit of a loner in a sense, you know, but could play any form of music. He'd always got a feel to try. He'd got an immense amount of different styles that he could play. You know, it was a joy to play with, and I miss him a lot. You know, miss him a lot.
Finally, would you have a message to give to Judas Priest fans in Greece who waited for you to see you live for so long?
Yeah, I'd just say a massive thank you for being so loyal to the band, for waiting for us so long, you know, and we'll make up for it. We'll be back. Now we know, you know, that there's so much support for the band in Greece, which we weren't absolutely aware of before, but we do now. We'll be back as soon as we can, and we've been over here for a few days. We've had a couple of days off. We love the people. We love the country. We'll be back. Are we going to play in the Acropolis next time?
Good. Right. Thanks very much, Glenn. Okay. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you.
Cheers.